Hello animal communicators and welcome to today's free live power training, the place to come for all your animal communication hints, tips and sometimes complete strategies so that I can support you in up-leveling your work from ordinary to extraordinary, because that's all that I want for you and it's certainly all that the animals want for you too. So today I want to really dig down on something that's really important to me as an animal communication teacher, and is this concept of what kind of communication are you doing? So this is something that is embedded into all my teaching programs because I feel so strongly about it, and it is one of the key pieces that will either drive you forward in your animal communication work or might hold you back. So before we dive deeply into all that juicy material, just in case you don't know me, my name is Sarah Jane LeBlanc and I am a professional animal communicator, trainer, mentor and coach, and I have been doing this work now for 20 years. It's a long time. And what I've discovered, especially over the last 10 years or so, is that my superpower is working with people who either already are professional animal communicators or they want to be professional animal communicators. So I teach from complete beginner right the way up to professional level, but that is my sweet spot. That's my zone of genius. Because not only do I bring 20 years of experience to the table in terms of animal communication work and teaching, but I have a background in education. My degree is in education. So I am well versed in teaching and breaking down complex, difficult strategies and making them into small, easy to follow steps. And combined with that, I have more than 30 years experience of working with people therapeutically through counselling work, energy work and coaching. So bringing all of that to the table allows me to help you identify what's keeping you stuck in your work and how we can unblock those channels so that you can move forward in the way that you were put on this earth to move forward and do your work with the animals. So that's what we're looking at today. One of the areas where I see a lot of students get blocked and then they get stuck and then they don't move forward and they don't fulfill their dreams. So let's look at this idea of communication. What kind of communication are you doing? And this is nothing to do with animal communication. This is all to do with your internal self-communication. What is your inner narrative saying? Is the voice in your head a voice that's supportive and encouraging and loving and compassionate and one that inspires you, a voice that ignites you, a voice that empowers you? Or do you have a voice that gives out, you're no good, you're rubbish at this, why do you think you can be an animal communicator? You will never be able to do this. What a waste of money paying for a book, a DVD, a workshop, a program. You'll never manage this. Is your voice one that criticizes, one that judges you, one that puts you down, one that actually demotivates you and disempowers you? So I invite you to do two things over this coming week. I invite you to notice the internal communication that you are doing with yourself. And the easiest way to do this is a technique that I use with my private one-to-one clients. Set an alarm on your phone. You can get chime apps as well, whatever works for you. Just have an alarm that goes off approximately every hour. And when that alarm goes off, just take a quick moment to cast your mind back and have a think about where your voice was. What kind of internal communication were you doing with yourself over that past hour? Was it supportive, kind, loving, compassionate and empowering? Or was it destructive, negative, put you down? So just notice. And I want you to notice without judgment. No judgment here, just noticing. And then the second step is for you to course correct if you need to. So if your voice has been one that has celebrated you and encouraged you and reminded you how amazing you actually are, then celebrate yourself. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. If your voice has been one that has been less than supportive and has perhaps criticised you and told you that you're daft or silly or whatever it might be, then we course correct without judgment. This is not an opportunity for you to berate yourself anymore. This is the time to just correct your thinking, start watching your language and catching yourself Every time you find that inner voice, your inner communication telling you something negative, something that's not supportive, something that doesn't help you in any way, shape or form, you just correct that. You stop and you change your language and you change it to something that's more supportive of you. So it could be simply noticing that you're giving yourself a hard time for not being good enough. Then you just say, okay, I maybe didn't do that perfectly this time, but I know next time I'm going to do this differently and I'm going to do that differently. So you're really being much more compassionate